In the last lecture, we have seen about the pharmacokinetic parameters, that is absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion, that is ADME. Now we will start with various factors modifying the drug action. As we know, every drug and its action get changes, that is modified because of various parameters or the factors, which are as follow. Now we will see one by one each factor in details. First is body weight. We know that the drug response varies from person to person. As we know, for same kinds of the drug, that is paracetamol, is given to two different persons, the dose will always varies and its action it varies because of its body weight. If the dose is required for the abuse person is usually more as compared to the normal persons because its body weight is high. To calculate the individual dose, the formula used is individual dose is equal to body weight, which is in kg, divided by 70 into the adult dose. By this formula, you can calculate the dose for the persons having the different body weights. Next is the surface area. It is also an important modifying drug action parameters which changes the action of a drug. As the surface area will get increased, the requirement of dose will get increased. We know that the surface area will small, the dose will require small. But as we increases the surface area, the dose will usually get increased. Now, same, you can use the formula which is given below for calculation of the surface area. So, body surface area of a child divided by 1.7 into the adult dose. By using this formula, you can calculate the surface area of any person or any adult. Next is the age. Yes, we know that the age also an important parameter which modifies the drug action. For example, the dose required for the children is less as compared to the adults because in the children the glomerular filtration rate is less, means the excretion rate in the children is less as compared to the adult, means the drugs will remain in the body for the longer time. As the drugs will remain in the body for longer time, it will get more effects as compared to the adult, and because of this reasons the dose required for the children is less as compared to the adults. Next is the gender or the sex. The drug response differ according in the sex. For the female, requires dose is smaller as compared to the males because of the lesser body weight. As we know, the females having the less weight as compared to the males. And one more thing regarding it, that when you administer the drugs in the menstrual cycles, pregnancy and lactations must be goes through the drug interaction parameters also. Many drugs are excreted through milk also. So you should remember these things, that while prescribing or while coming any kinds of the prescription, you should know that which drugs should be contraindicated in these kinds of the conditions. Next is routes of administration. As we know, the onset of action is very quick, the drugs which are administered intravenously as compared to the oral route. If you are giving the IV routes, the routes of administration which is used as IV, it will always shows faster action as compared to the oral route, because of the oral route drugs get degraded, but in the IV it goes directly into your systemic circulations. Next is environment. So if you're taking the CNS, that is central nervous system stimulating drugs, your barbiturates, it will require more drug in the daytime as compared to the night time. Because of the environment changes, the action of the drug is also get changes. Next is the emotional factor. Placebo means the false drugs which looks like a drug but it is not a drug. It does not contain any active constituents, but our emotional factor, our psychology tells that when you take the drug, you always think that now I have taken the drug, I will now cure. But this happens because of the emotional factors. You have not taken any kinds of the drug. If you are simply goes to anywhere and you sleep down and you feel that I have very much pain, I'm suffering from very much pain, I'm suffering from very much pain. At that time, sometimes we gives a false drug, that is a placebo drugs, but it is not actually a drug. It does not contain any kinds of the active instituent, but your mentality, your emotional factors that thinks that yes, I have taken the drugs, now I will cure, I have taken the drugs and I cure. And because of this thinking, actually it happens that you get cure from that, but it is a parameter, that is emotional parameters which modifies the drug action. Next is the time of administration or the diet. Most of the drugs are advised to be taken after the meal to reduce the gastric irritations, nausea, vomiting, etc. Your salicylates, example is salicylate, that drugs are mostly advised to be taken after the milk. But some drugs are taken before the food or the empty stomach, that is antacids. These types of the to reduce the acidity or to reduce the digestive enzymes. So time of the administration is also plays an important role in changing the drug actions. Next is the presence of the disease. In the presence of the disease, the drug action may be altered. For example, if in the liver cirrhosis, in the hepatic cirrhosis, drugs like barbiturates may produce the prolonged effect. Means barbiturates if you are taking for longer time, and these drugs are administered into a kidney failure patient, then the drug action will get decreased. Because of the presence of the disease, the drug action may get changes. Next is accumulation of the drugs. Means every drug has its own half-life. The time required for absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of every drug is very different. If a drug gets very slowly excreted, it means it will remain in your body for a longer time. And if you are administering repeated administration of that dose of that drug will shows a higher concentration, means there will be accumulation, deposition of that drugs into your body. That is known as the accumulation. It is phenobarbiturates in the epilepsy types of the conditions occur in due to the phenobarbiturates. Next is the additive effect, which is also known as the additions. When you take two or more drugs administered together and which act on the same physiological systems, the action will equal to sum of the individuals. That is known as the addictions. Means 1 plus 1 will shows the 2. Means when you are taking any kinds of the same drug, for example aspirin and paracetamols, which both used as an antipyretic or analgesic, that is painkiller. When you are taking this both kinds of the drug together, means at the same time, then it will show the same physiological actions and it will show the equal effect, that is sum of individual. 1 plus 1, that it will shows the 2. Next is synergistic effect or synergisms. When you take two or more drugs together and they act on different receptors but they shows similar actions, then it will shows greater than their sum of individual. Means 1 plus 1, it will shows the 3. For example, you are taking levodopa and carbidopa. As we know, levodopa and carbidopa are used in the treatment of Parkinson's disease. Both will having the same physiological actions. Both are used to treat the Parkinson's and always used in the combinations. But they act on different receptors. Okay. And then they will show similar actions, but they will form a greater sum than the individual. Means instead of 1 plus 1, 2, it will show 1 plus 1, 3. That is known as the synergism or synergistic effect. Next is antagonism. Antagonisms means when you take two or more drugs together and they act on same physiological actions but try to oppose the actions of each other is known as the antagonism. Means opposite actions will produced by that kinds of the drugs. In that, it is further classified into chemical antagonism and physiological antagonism. In that, first, chemical antagonism means in this pharmacological action of one drug can be reduced by another agent. For example, antacid therapy. In this, the chemical reagents will reduce the action of another chemical agents. That is known as the chemical antagonism. It is competitive or reversible antagonism, and second is non-competitive. Competitive reversible antagonism means in this agonist or antagonist compete for same physiological system. In this curve you can see that, okay, towards the right maximum effect will not possible. Okay, antagonist and agonist. Agonist means it will show similar actions like that drug. Antagonist means that will show opposite action to that drugs. So that will agonist and antagonist will compete the same site or fight for the same actions, but that will shows the another response. Okay, that is known as the competitive or reversible antagonist. Non-competitive means in this only antagonist interacts with receptor, so agonist fails to combine with receptor and shows the effect. For example, when drug response is plotted, shift towards the right side, that is the maximum response is reduced. Next is physiological antagonist. Means when two or more drugs act on different types of receptor, it will oppose the action of each other in same function. That is glucagon and insulins act on blood sugar level and adrenaline in the histamine reactions. Means if you take the glucagon and insulin, they always works for the blood sugar level. Okay, but it will binds to the different receptor and oppose the actions of each other. These are the some factors which modifies the drug action. In that, competitive and reversible antagonisms which comes under the chemical antagonism, non-competitive it comes under the chemical antagonism, and physiological it comes under the antagonism. So antagonism it consists of chemical antagonism and physiological antagonisms. Antagonisms it nothing but means when two or more drugs are administered together having the same physiological action but try to oppose the actions of each other. That simple phenomena is known as the antagonistic effects or the antagonisms. It is classified into chemical antagonism and physiological antagonisms. In the chemical antagonisms means in this the chemical agents will reduce the action of the another drug, that is known as the chemical antagonism. For example, in the antacid therapy, okay, so you are using different kinds of the chemical agents, that is your milk of magnesia. For example, you are using gelocils in the antacid that will reduce or compete the actions of each other, that is known as the chemical antagonisms. Next is competitive or reversible antagonism. Reversible means that will come to its original positions, that is reversible. In this agonist or antagonist compete for same physiological systems. Agonist means, as I told, that it will shows the similar actions like drug. Antagonist means it will shows opposite action to that drugs. But in this both agonist and antagonist are competing, fighting for a same physiological system. If you see in the curve response is plotted, it will shift towards the right side and it will shows a maximum response will not affect due to both are competing for each other. The effect of antagonist can be reduced by increasing the concentration of agonist. Means while you are increasing the concentration of agonist, the effect of antagonist will get decreased. For example, in the histamine and antihistamines. Okay, so if you are using histamines and antihistamines, if you increase the histamine activities, the effect of antihistaminic drugs automatically will get decreased, and this is known as reversible or competitive antagonism. Next is non-competitive. In this type agonist interacts with receptor. Only antagonist will reacts or interacts with receptor. So agonist fails to combine with receptors and shows the effect. For example, when drug response is plotted, it will shift toward maximum response is reduced. For example, phenoxybenzamine. Means in this type what happen, your antagonist interacts with receptors and your agonist sites will remain free, and then will shows the actions. Okay, next is physiological antagonist. When two drugs act on different types of receptor, it opposes the actions of each other in same functions. Means, for example, your glycagon and insulins. Your glycagon and insulins works on the same phenomena, are used for the same types of the drugs, or used for same types of the conditions, like your blood sugar level. When the blood sugar level is get increased, your glycagon and insulins are used. So what they do, they are using for same functions, but they will compete for each other. They will oppose the actions of each other, and it is simple known as physiological antagonist. Okay, so these are the different factors modifying the drug action, which will always affect the drug action.